This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. If the war in Iran drags on beyond 2 months, Europe's auto industry could face critical supply shortages. According to a new study from the Supply Chain Intelligence Institute Austria, supplies of semiconductors and battery cells are most at risk. That's because around 1/3 of helium needed for chip production comes from Qatar. Other risks for Europe's auto industry include price hikes for energy, transport, and raw materials. Meanwhile, over in Asia, with the price of oil spiking, there's growing interest in electric vehicles. A BYD dealership in Manila says it's seen a month's worth of orders in just 2 weeks. A VinFast dealer in Hanoi had to hire more staff and is selling double the amount of EVs it sold each week on average last year. A spokesman that represents Thailand's auto industry says it previously expected EV sales to be soft this year, but if oil prices remain high, it expects, quote, a significant increase in EV demand. And in Laos, as a reaction to the spike in oil prices, the government has slashed EV registration and service fees by 30% and raised them by the same amount for gas-powered vehicles. Tesla got good and bad news from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration yesterday. First, the good. The agency says it closed a petition seeking a recall of more than 2 million Tesla vehicles over pedal misapplication claims. The petition, which was filed in 2023, claims Teslas were at risk of pedal misapplication because of its regen braking or one-pedal driving. It called for a recall of all Teslas built since 2013, or nearly 2.3 million vehicles, and proposed a safety update that would require drivers to apply the brake pedal before stopping. But NHTSA rejected the petition, citing only a handful of crashes related to the issue, as well as data that showed the vehicle responded properly to the driver's inputs. And it says there isn't any evidence that the petition safety proposal would prevent any future incidents. But while Tesla got good news on that front, NHTSA also announced it opened an engineering analysis in its investigation into 3.2 million vehicles with FSD. And that's the step the agency usually takes before it seeks a recall. We've got some future product intel to report on. Auto Forecast Solutions says there's a new Ford Maverick and Bronco Sport coming in 2028, and they'll remain in production until 2036. Both of those vehicles sit on Ford's C2 platform and are built at its assembly plant in Hermosillo, Mexico. Also, Auto Forecast reports that Stellantis will redesign the Dodge Durango onto the Stella Large platform at the end of 2030. It's scheduled to stay in production at the Jefferson North Assembly Plant in Detroit until 2037. The Jeep Renegade and Commander will also get redesigned and go into production in Pernambuco, Brazil in 2028. The Commander will sit on Stella's EMP2 platform, or Efficient Modular Platform 2, which has been used since 2013. The Renegade will move to the Stella Small platform, and both models are scheduled to be built there until 2034.
We help businesses respond decisively to their most critical challenges, from urgent performance improvement to enterprise-wide transformation. We work across the full value chain, in automotive and in industrials, helping clients navigate disruption, drive innovation, and unlock sustainable growth. Alex Partners, when it really matters.
Ford is developing its new universal EV platform, so the vehicles that come off of it are cheaper to own over time compared to its current lineup. The 2 large castings it calls Unicastings, similar to Tesla's Gigacastings, not only replace 144 structural parts, will help transform the company's manufacturing process and reduce overall costs, they'll be cheaper to repair when involved in the most common types of accidents. According to Automotive News, the castings were designed from the very beginning to be modular for repairability, including predefined cut zones for sections that are most likely to be damaged in low and moderate speed collisions. Those areas can then be removed and a new part is either glued, riveted, and/or bolted in. This does require special tooling and equipment, and Ford will also have to invest in training. But Tesla and several Chinese automakers use the same method, and insurance claims show that vehicles with large castings are cheaper to repair when involved in these more common types of accidents compared to vehicles that are built traditionally. The key is to design for repair right from the start, and it sounds like Ford did that. But the battery is still the most expensive part of any EV, which is why we've seen so much activity around cheaper alternatives like iron or manganese-rich chemistries, and especially solid state. However, advancements continue to be made with more traditional lithium-ion batteries that could keep them around even longer. Instead of more traditional graphite anodes, scientists in Israel created a way to make silicon graphene anodes with lasers, which offer more energy capacity, and in early tests of small cells, they retained over 98% capacity after more than 2,000 charge and discharge cycles. Now, we'll have to see if the process is easy enough to scale for mass production. Xpeng reported its year-end earnings, and while the numbers don't look all that great at first glance, the company is showing dramatic improvement. Xpeng sold 429,000 cars last year, up 126%. It brought in over $11 billion of revenue, up nearly 88%. But it posted an operating loss of just over $400 million and a net loss of $165 million. Even so, the company posted a net profit of nearly $55 million in the fourth quarter, and it looks like it may have turned the corner financially. However, analysts and investors were clearly expecting better news. The Autoline stock index shows that Xpeng shares were down 5% on the Hong Kong exchange today. Earlier this week, we put out a poll for our YouTube and Patreon members, and the answers are intriguing. We asked, if you were the CEO of a legacy automaker today, where would you place your biggest survival bet for the next 24 months? 1. Would you double down on hybrids and PHEVs to fund the future? Number 2, would you forget luxury and race to build a profitable $25,000 EV? 3, would you focus on SDVs and AI to create new subscription revenue? Or number 4, would you maximize profits from existing trucks and SUV lines and delay new tech? Well, Autoline members know what they would do. 72% of you said to double down on hybrids and PHEVs. 14% said to go after $25,000 EVs. 12% said to maximize profits from existing trucks and SUVs. And only 2% would prioritize software-defined vehicles and AI. I think our member Dave summed it up the best. Why make this an either-or, he asked, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he said you have to do all of this. And thanks to all of our members, we truly value your support. And if you're not a member already and would like to participate in these polls, get first crack at Autoline exclusive videos before anyone else, or even tune in to my and John's live Q&A sessions. All it takes is a few bucks a month. And that brings us to the end of this week's reports on the auto industry. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you right back here again on Monday.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Alex Partners, when it really matters. CSP, the Composites Solution Partner. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. And thanks to the following YouTube and Patreon members.
At Intrepid, we produce network hardware and software solutions, enabling vehicle manufacturers to innovate and design the next generation of modern mobility. Delivering scalable next-generation solutions requires thorough testing and validation of vehicle platforms. Intrepid specializes in network interfacing, data logging, simulation, and gateway capabilities. Intrepid's Neovi Cloud Platform provides real-time data collection, instant cloud upload, intelligent detection, advanced issue analysis, root cause identification, and remote update deployment. All of these steps ensure vehicles are cleared for production and ready for the road, taking your fleet testing into the future of mobility. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
At CSP, we work with OEM engineers across the country on their journeys to lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly vehicles. Learn more at thecsp.com.
Wards is the industry leader for news, data, and analysis. That's why companies across the globe subscribe to our premium service, maybe even your own. Log in for subscriber access now. Check your company's intranet for details and rely on wardsauto.com to keep you informed.